I cancelled my wedding because he would not let me get the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Before you judge me, hear me out. Before marriage, my potential spouse wanted us to combine bank accounts after we get married. That means both salaries would enter the same place and we would build everything together. I didn't see any problem with it. I even thought it meant he was serious about marriage. 1 week before our nikah, I came across a story. It was about a woman who regretted joining bank accounts with her husband. The story disturbed me so badly, so I started asking my fiancé more questions just to be sure of what I'm getting into. So I asked whether we could have one joint account for the house bills and savings, while we both kept our personal accounts. His whole mood changed. He asked me why a married woman needed money her husband could not see. He said he was going to be the head of the family, so he needed to know exactly what entered my account and what left it. According to him, a wife should not be spending money anyhow while a husband sits there unaware. That was when I remembered the argument we had when I bought the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I had bought it with my own money before we were even married. When he saw it, he didn't even congratulate me. He became upset and kept asking why I would spend that much money without discussing it with him first. He said a woman preparing for marriage should not be making expensive decisions alone. I remember being confused because we were not married. We did not share bills and he had not contributed £1 towards the phone. Then he brought up the phone issue again. He said that purchase was exactly why he did not believe I should keep a separate account after marriage. He said if all the money was in one place, he would be able to stop unnecessary spending before it's happened. I asked him directly whether I would need his permission to buy something expensive with the salary I earned. He said yes. I asked whether he would also need my permission. He said it was not the same because he was the man and the head of the family. I cancelled the nikah. If I had never read that story, I would never have thought to ask him those extra questions about what he actually meant by a joint account. The woman in the story specifically advised women to ask those questions before agreeing to anything. If I hadn't followed that advice, I would never have connected the dots. I probably would have married him without realizing what he really wanted. Firstly, I would like to add that there is absolutely nothing wrong with a joint account as long as you both agree to it and one party would not use it to control the other. One thing I liked about what this lady did is that she probed him further about how the joint account is going to work in their marriage. And like she said, if she hadn't have done that, she wouldn't have had a true understanding of the way he sees a joint account and the workings of it. And what I would advise every single out there is that when you're dating, when you're courting, and you're having these conversations, really understand how your future spouse sees a joint account and the workings of it. Because the way this man saw a joint account, he wanted to control every single thing. And that's not healthy. In a healthy marriage where you both agree to a joint account, what should ideally happen is just like she said at the start, is that you should have an account for the bills and savings. If you've agreed a specific amount to save in a particular month, it should go in that account. However, each individual should have their own personal account. And this is important so that each individual can be able to exercise some freedom and independence in marriage. Once the core bills have been covered, both individuals in marriage are entitled to spend what's left, the disposable income, on whatever they deem fit. And I'd like to say at this point that a marriage where you both decide that you do not want to have a joint account, that doesn't mean your marriage is not a healthy marriage. It doesn't. You can still function properly without a joint account in marriage as long as there is transparency and there is trust. The moment secrecy enters, then the issue starts. As long as you're on the same page regarding your marital goals and you're both working towards the same goals, that's all that really matters. Requesting to know exactly what she does with her disposable income is manipulative and controlling behavior. She is a grown woman, for goodness sake, not a 16-year-old child. You're not a dad, you're a husband. According to what we've just read, he said a wife should not be spending money anyhow while her husband sits there unaware. This comment really irritated me because what do you mean anyhow? Because once the important bills have been covered, you have no right to monitor how she spends her disposable income. If she wants to spend it on an iPhone or makeup, it's none of your business. She has the freedom to do so. She's worked for it after all. So you want her to be asking you permission for her to spend her disposable income after she's worked hard for it? Is this man actually okay? I don't think he is. In my marriage, once we've covered the necessary bills, we're free to do whatever we want with our disposable income. So for instance, if this woman wanted to get new knickers, new bras, she will need to ask for your permission? Really? He also says if all the money was in one place, he would be able to stop unnecessary spending. And what is your definition of unnecessary? Because the problem here is that what you see as unnecessary, she might see as very necessary. You're male, she's female. And what's necessary to the both of us will differ. Just the other day, my husband went to see an Arsenal match. He didn't need my permission, of course. We spend our disposable income on what we want to. Is that something I class as necessary? Not for me, because I don't have an interest in that. But for him, it's necessary. So, but because you don't find it necessary, then that cancels it out for her? That's just pure wickedness. This man just wants to use this to control her so that when he feels like she steps out of line, he will deny her from spending money on things she sees as necessary for herself. The thing is, money gives freedom, and men like this want to take away that freedom from women. And he wants to take away her ability to think, to make decisions by herself. And he wants her to remain solely dependent on him for everything. And when she asked him if the same rule will apply to him, of course, he responded saying it was different because he was the man and the head of the family. Well, let's start there, because being the head of the house actually means being a provider and not a controller. You shouldn't be interested in her money, in actual fact. If you're the head of the family, you should be providing fully, 100%. And in healthy marriages, the best way to see one another is as equals. In marriage, there's no dictatorship. It's a partnership. You work together hand in hand. You listen to one another. Being the head of the family, it's an action word. It's a doing word. It's not just a title. You don't request it. You don't announce it. You just get on with it. And how do you get on with it? By being a provider. And also by giving your spouse freedom because you trust them. That's what a good head will do. You don't oppress or control or manipulate the other person. You're eyeing up your fiancé's money and wanting to be in control of every single penny, and you have the audacity to be making noise about the man of the house. You're not serious. This man is a walking... In fact, this one is not a red flag. It's a big, gigantic red banner. If you see behavior like this, run. Do not excuse it. She was right to call off that wedding. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys. Bye.